Tennis was first played in Wales in 1873, where it was invented by an Englishman named Major Walter C. Wingfield. Originally, it was played on an hourglass-shaped court, with the widest parts being the baseline, which is the farthest back line, and the narrowest parts being at the net. Obviously, a few things have changed about how tennis is set up and played over the years, and that's what I'd like to talk about. Tennis was first brought to the United States by a woman named Mary Ewing Outerbridge in 1874. She discovered the game when she was vacationing in Bermuda and was introduced to a friend of Wingfield's. On her return home, she brought with her a net, balls, and rackets. She set up her court in Staten Island, New York, and was the first national men's championship was held at Newport, Rhode Island. Arguably the most famous and prestigious tennis championship in the world is Wimbledon, which takes place in Great Britain. At first it was solely a men's championship, but in 1884, Wimbledon inaugurated a women's championship. Tennis championships all over the world are noted as prestigious events, and the sport has become very profitable. The tennis ball itself has changed a lot over the years. It started out as a small wooden ball, which was later replaced by a leather ball filled with cellulose materials. Later, this was replaced by a ball made out of India rubber, which had flannel stitching around the rubber core. This same ball was eventually modernized by hollowing out the rubber core and filling it with pressurized gas. The flannel stitching was replaced by a special Melton cloth, which was made specifically for the purpose of a tennis ball. Traditionally, tennis balls were colored black or white depending on the color of the courts that they were going to be played on. Eventually, in 1972, yellow-colored tennis balls were introduced because they could be more easily visible on television viewer screens. Even with the higher percentage of visibility for television viewers, Wimbledon did not accept the new color balls until 1986. They preferred to keep the traditional colors. At the very beginning of the game's creation, people played using their hands, which was eventually evolved to using a glove. The glove had a type of webbing in between the fingers so that the ball wouldn't pass through them, and following the glove, people began using a solid paddle, which was eventually evolved into webbing attached to a handle. This was the beginning of the modern racket. By the 1500s, a wooden racket with sheep gut strings was in common use. One thing that has not changed much over the years for tennis is the rules. The only change that has been made was the introduction of the tiebreak rule in 1971. This rule states that the first player to win 7 points wins the tiebreak and the set. The exception to this is that if the score reaches 6 points all, then the winner is the first player to win by 2 points in a row. Overall, tennis is a prestigious and lucrative sport that has been played for many, many years and will still be played for many, many more. The rules have not changed much, but the equipment has improved as new materials and new ideas bring interesting new twists to the sport that we all know and love.